Welcome to part 3 of my new series, Having Fun with Field Recording and Sound Design. Saying fun doesn't mean I'm going to show you more or less funny accidents or other kinds of nonsense. No, instead I'm going to show you parts of my real work, of me working on my projects or on customer orders. I call this series fun because I follow uncommon and probably unexpected approaches quite often. Today's video is all about making cheap but good do-it-yourself windshields for my Zoom H5 and Zoom H1 recorders. I'm going to visit our local yard sale again to find suitable material.
It's early morning and it's kind of foggy. Not that many people here yet on the yard sale. It's January and it's cold.
I have found these things here. A sweater, complete sweater, but I'm interested only in this furry lining here inside, the furry lining, and these cuddly toys. Can you see it here? The mobile camera, which have also quite furry outside, and they may also serve as a kind of windshield after removing the innards of these things. It's more an experiment. I'm really curious whether it will work or not. And it's a little bit of pity for this complete sweater, but I'm going to detach the fur from the rest of the sweater. By the way, this here cost me $2.40, and these cuddly toys here cost me, what was it? 80 cents each. Okay, let's at first try out this furry lining of the sweater. I recommend visiting my website. The link is down in the description. There's a lot of material concerning field recording, sound design, music and music production, even music theory and a bit of music history and more there on my website. Well, let's go for it. Yes, here I can start. Haha. And here we are. Well, now that I see the other side of the fur, maybe that this material will change the sound too much. This side looks great, but this side, it's perhaps too thick. I don't know. Well, we will see. We will see. Okay, now for the plush toys. I have absolutely no idea what or who I'm going to meet there inside. So let's find an entrance. Here is something like a scene. A rabbit with an empty head. I know a lot of people, but okay, no joking. All right. So next task is test the rabbit. There's rhythm in this title. You have it, I have it, baby, test the rabbit. Nonsense. Didn't I say no nonsense? Okay. At first, I'm speaking directly here into the microphones and let's find out the difference when I insert the zoom into this default foam windshield. So I'll keep on talking and talking. Now the windshield, the foam windshield is on. Now I remove it, I remove it, I remove it. And now I take the rabbit. Let's put the rabbit on the zoom. Now the rabbit is on the zoom. I speak with the same volume, same loudness, same voice, unprocessed. Now I remove it. I remove the rabbit. Let's remove the rabbit. Let's remove the rabbit. And now the rabbit is removed. Well, you hear the difference, or, well, the missing difference. And now the same with wind. With wind, we have to tell apart different constellations: wind from the side, voice from the side, wind coming from the front of the microphone, and the voice as well, and all combinations of that. So the first test is wind from the side and voice coming here directly into the microphone at first without any windshield. And don't worry, I'm not going to bother you with showing all the tests I did, but I will represent only the results at the end. So let's start the wind. Now there's a little bit of wind going, coming from the side, and the voice coming from the front of the microphones. So I'm speaking here. Now I take this default windshield, put it on. So now the default windshield is on, and my voice is coming from the front, going right into the front of the microphones. Okay, I remove the default windshield. Now again without windshield. And now let's put the rabbit on. The rabbit on. Okay, voice coming from here and wind from the side. All right. Now the next situation, let's put the rabbit away again. The next situation, the wind comes directly into the microphone. As I see here, the rabbit coming out, voice coming from the side now. I put this default windshield on. So now it is with the default windshield and the voice coming from the side. And now I remove the default windshield and put the rabbit on. Let's put the rabbit on. We've got some fun with rabbits on microphones. So now the rabbit is on the microphone. My voice is coming from here. The wind is coming from here. All right. Now let's turn the microphone, the whole thing around, so that the wind comes from the back, and the wind comes from the back, and the voice comes from here now. So I'm talking directly into the microphone right now. Let's put on the default windshield. So I'm talking again right into the microphone here. Can you see it? All right. I remove the default windshield and put the rabbit on. So let's put the rabbit on. Hi. So the rabbit is on, my voice coming from the front, the wind coming from behind. All right. Now let's increase. The wind. Let's make it a storm. Situation is the same. Wind from behind, my voice in front. Let's put the default windshield on. Now is the default windshield on. I'm speaking into the microphone here. Let's remove it and let me put on the rabbit. So now the rabbit is on. Wind from here, my voice from here. Let's change the situation. Let's turn it around. Good sounds now. I'm speaking from here. And this coming from here. Default windshield. Default windshield. Okay. Now remove the default windshield and put the rabbit on. Become a song. Let's put the rabbit on. So the rabbit is on. My voice is coming from here. The wind is coming from here. And now let's do something else. Wind coming from the side and my voice from here. So once again, let's put the windshield on, the default one. I'm speaking directly into the microphone. Wind is coming from here. And then, hey baby, let's put the rabbit on. Now the rabbit is on, wind from here. I'm speaking right into the ears. Here, the ears, can you see the ears of the rabbit? Okay, let's switch the camera off, not so that I won't bore you, and do the rest of the tests. And then I'll present the result to you. Let me show you at least one of my extreme rabbit testings, simulating a hurricane. So let's start the hurricane. Now the hurricane with the default. With the default windshield, and now the rabbit. Rabbit on. This one. All right then. I can summarize the series of tests quite easily. There's no reason to use the rabbit. The default foam windshield does its job very well. Or the other way around, there's no reason to use the default windshield. The rabbit does its job very well. Okay, so now for the Zoom H1 here. I did the whole series of tests again, this time with this Zoom H1 and its default foam windshield, and this time the results are different. To make it short, the rabbit has won the race. The rabbit windshield is far more effective, and again, there's no difference sound-wise. But the protection against the wind is rather poor with the thin default foam windshield. I got the best results, though, using both the H1 recorder with the windshield, the foam windshield, stuffed into the rabbit. It makes a perfect wind protection, and, I think quite surprisingly, it influences the sound of the recording only a tiny little bit. Well, so far the fun experiments. Now for the serious part. The fur linen. Again, lining, of course. I don't know why I always say linen. All right. Okay. The experience with the double protection here of the H1 microphone capsules makes me believe that it will be an advantage to have a second wind protection pulled over the default good foam windshield of the Zoom H5 in certain situations. Well then, let's make some really strong wind. Okay, I'm speaking, perhaps we can hear the motor of the fans without the distortion from direct wind so much. I go nearer. I go nearer, even with the Zoom H1. All right, these are the results. Well then, let's make some really strong wind. Okay, I'm speaking, perhaps we can hear the motor of the fans without the distortion from direct wind so much. I go nearer. I go nearer, even with the Zoom H1. All right, these are the results. And now the sound test with the Zoom H5. I'm speaking into the Zoom H5 right now with the default foam windshield as well as my do-it-yourself fur windshield on. I'm still speaking while I now remove the fur windshield. So I'm removing the fur windshield. And now I'm speaking only with the default foam windshield, only the default foam windshield. And now the sound test. What you are hearing is my voice recorded using the Zoom H1 and with the default foam windshield as well as the fur on. And now I remove the fur while still speaking. Let me remove the fur. Now I have removed the fur and only the default foam windshield is on. Some last words might come in handy here. So let's realize what at all we want to achieve with a windshield. Sometimes we want to record as less as possible of the wind sounds themselves, but we are interested only in the sounds the wind creates, the rustling of leaves or the creaking of a loose gate and so on. But sometimes, on the other hand, we want to record even the sound of the wind itself, so that we only have to prevent the wind from blowing directly into the microphones, causing this massive distortion. And sometimes we are interested in both, the sounds of the wind as well as the sounds of the things that are set to motion by the wind. And now that I have both, the default foam windshield as well as my do-it-yourself furry windshield, I've gained a lot of flexibility there in the wondrous wide world, www, yes, wondrous wide world outside of my studio. Well, thank you for watching, and don't forget to visit my website to get even more information concerning your passion. Have a good time, enjoy your day, your Czech friend, Rolf.